alone with our thoughts, our feelings. But this is just a poem about being alone that I think we all can relate to. Amongst the people I stand here, alone inside I must bear, elevated in consciousness, so I care, show the people what's behind their fear. Come down to earth is what they tell me, but they can't see that knowledge of self is the key. It sets me apart from humanity to overstand my destiny. Is all that knowledge what makes me alone? Changing my low physical to a high mental home? On the never-ending path I roam to bring down creations from my spiritual zone. But my thinking must change as wisdom is obtained. And it's how I hang and rise myself into higher planes. Lost alone in no space and time. But if I continue to climb, no answer I can't find. I shine, 'cause inside me is the divine. Energy for understanding builds my mind. How can I be alone? From one consciousness we're all sewn. Together, yet separate like musical tones. There's no true happiness unless there's peace. By uniting, we can cause violence to cease. I do my best to further the divine plan. I use facts to give my people a helping hand. But ignorance runs rapid throughout the land. So I shine down light so darkness can't expand. But the races are divided like grains of sand. The blind mock what they can't understand. I feel like an outcast, like a prophet of the past. For spiritual strength I fast. The material test I must pass. Gathering truth is my task, and spreading the knowledge so loneliness won't last. Alone.
People, welcome to another Car Talk. Got mental. Hopefully Jazzy will be coming in soon. He's going to be a little late today. But I just wanted to say greetings, salutations. Another Sunday Car Talk. I'm going to do a quick review of the book of knowledge, Keys of Enoch, where we're at so far. So it'd be good for all y'all first timers to actually listen, because I'm going to do a quick review of everything. So you're probably going to have to hear it once or twice. So be prepared to have to, rewind, go back through it and listen to it again. The book really is trying to help us that can see beyond what our eyes can see, that can hear beyond what our ears can hear, that can taste beyond what our tongue and nose can smell. All right, once you start activating the pineal, spiritual gland, the hippocampus, the pituitary gland, like the three wise men, they form a triangle, that triangle of golden light, that energy that produces that milk. All right, I know a lot of y'all don't understand. I'm just talking about the whole Kundalini energy, how it works in us, how it powers us, how it feeds our consciousness, energizes us to see what people don't see. That's the whole purpose of faith. What is faith? Evidence of things not seen by others, but seen by us. Spirit is talking to us in the background, letting us know what's going on. And that faith builds your substance of things hoped for, because you want others to see the truth and what it really feels like. And actually the healing power and the nurturing of your higher spirit. This is your higher spirit, not mine, your higher spirit that's waiting to help you at any point, at any time. But you have to be open to it. You can't just go by what looks good, feels good, tastes good, sounds good, smells good. That's not enough. Not enough for the spirit. Because within you, you don't need any of these physical attributes to function. Because we can all dream, and in them dreams, we can be as powerful as we want. We can go anywhere, and we can do anything. So, and those dreams are that substance of things hoped for. All right, good or bad. But we got to get out this realm of belief. All right, we got to let belief go. All right, to believe, you can believe totally wrong. All right, not only that, you cannot believe and know at the same time. Either you're going to believe or you're going to know. So feel free to comment at any point while I'm going through, what I'm going through. But yeah, because you can sit here and say, do you believe you have two hands? Some people would say, yes, I believe I have two hands. Others be like, no, I don't believe it. I know I have two hands. Right. And that's the difference. Knowing and believing. You can't believe and know at the same time. It's either you got it or you don't. Either you know it exists or it doesn't exist. Because everything exists within you. So it can exist as long as it exists within you. Whatever principle, whatever energy, whatever power you looking for, it's going to be within you first. All right. So just letting you know, started off card talk, mental, been in this a while, uh, cult specialist. I wouldn't say master because whoever masters anything, but very knowledgeable about the hidden, the subconscious, things of that nature, the real us without the meat suit. So a lot of us are waking up to this new spiritual paradigm that's going on now, this frequency. It's starting to rev up. Truth is starting to be revealed. All type of Hollywood figures are coming down, entertainers, rappers, everything's starting to come out to the light. All right. So don't get it twisted. Everything that isn't necessarily what it seems, where people got money and think they happy. Come to find out they weren't happy at all. All right. So the only thing you can focus on is your happiness and what you do and how you conduct yourself. All right. Saying that, we're going to move on. We're talking about the book of Enoch, the keys of Enoch. All right. The book of knowledge. Why is this so important? It's so important because it's starting to break down you what's next after the earth. I say it again. What's next after the earth? And not only what's next after the earth, where you're going to be when you get off the earth. What will happen to you when you get off this earth? When you die, what will be your next station will be determined by you. How you use your love and light to power things up. All right. How you use your love and light to go to the next realm. Because how you use it down here will determine where you go to the next one. All right. So that's just a little snippet, but we got to keep our minds open. All right. That's why I showed you in the beginning, we live in the many in the one universe. This is the first key. All right. Key one, we live in the many in the one universe. The creative mind is the center of the universe, known as Lord King Redeemer. Basically, the inner you. This is all on the inside. The many in the one, the inside, an open mind perspective on the inside. All right. What is being open minded? Being part of an open minded universe, we are part of an open minded mind. Being a part of an open-minded mind, we are part of an open-ended universal image. If we look at the first three keys, we'll see that the many and the one, there's a relationship between universe to universe, galaxy to galaxy, solar system to solar system. All right. The one universe to the many universes. By seeing the universe to universes and the universe to the many universes, we see the overall development required by the higher mind. What is the higher mind? That's that infinite mind that you can tap into. That's that spiritual essence. That's that centropy, the electrification of matter, not entropy, the decay of matter that we go through now. Your mind works off centropy, those ideas, that lightning, that bulb that pops, boom, oh, that's a great idea. Right, that's entropy. You're making shit happen in your mind and you're bringing it through into the physical. All right. So knowledge of the living mind only comes after the living mind becomes open ended. So you can't even have knowledge of the living mind before you open up your own mind to what is out there and what is possible. Okay, we're caught up in one religion or another, and this religion says this is the way, and this religion says this is the way. Okay, and that may be the way for some, but for those that want to know and not believe, all right, this is who I'm talking to. Those who want to know and not believe in anything, we have to apply our sciences. We got to be the scientists. This is how you be the scientist. All right. The scroll starts with an open-ended cosmology rather than a closed-ended cosmology. What is the difference? Open-ended cosmology means life after life, and you can see the progression. It's a visual, conscious thing that you can see. Closed-end cosmology says, oh no, our sun's going to give out at some point. We keep dying and then recycling, or dying and we don't know where we're going. All right. At some point, we get to a point where there's no death, but we'll get to that. All right. So, uh, man, by starting out with his own three-dimensional concept of God, would limit God to that universe. So, whatever we know, we would limit the creator to that. But when you see the many as well as the one, you recognize that the most powerful plurality is the most perfect unity. By going, you can then understand by one must go beyond all theologies and all cosmologies, which say that there is a God here only on this level of creation. For God is neither here nor there. He is seen in all universes, or it is seen in all universes. Therefore, you recognize all universes in order to see the creator, and he cannot be seen in your image of creation because of your universe, for he is beyond all images. So it's showing the greatness, how large this thing is. All right. Can the conceptual form of this can the perceptual form of this planetary mind be so vain as to suppose that the universe does not exist beyond its scope of three-dimensional matter, energy, body? All right. So it's letting you know, if you're only thinking about the three dimension, what you can see, what looks good, feels good, tastes good, sounds good, smells good, then you've missed out on 90% of what's really going on down here. Because you're really not fighting the principles. You're fighting, the physical. You're fighting the principalities that have the physical in check. All right. The universe which surrounds us is full of love-powered emulations, meaning love-powered visions, patterns of love-powered visions, and love thresholds into which the man, as the Son of Man, will revolve as life begets life into eternal life. It's talking about going through entropy, the decay of matter, into synthropy. All right? Never dying. Physical bodies that don't die, or bodies made of light, I should say, that don't die. But it's capable for your body right now with with your atom cadmium, which is your four other bodies of light that go over this one, for you to participate in the infinite and eternal. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So grasp not the spiritual inversion of light into matter, life into death, entropy, but awaken to the vision of light and love and the grace of humanity before the magnificent and the eternal peace. The mind can stay where it is and be programmed, and program the Redeemer, the Messiah, into any teachings of light. The mind can stay where it is and program any master, such as Osiris or David or the king of Uhe. The mind can stay where it is and program the Lord and Adui into any universe, into any galaxy, into any life station. The Messiah is where the redemptive energies of the body of light, capital L light, conscious light, are manifested. So what is the Messiah? It's when you manifest this conscious L light, this light that not only shines but has conscious property to it. When you manifest this light within you, you are part of the collective Messiah. The collective Messiah unifies all physical universes that interpenetrate this physical plane and those beyond on other frequencies of light. Where you see then, if man is to work with the creative mind, he must comprehend the creative mind is something beyond the anthropomorphic image of three-dimensional God form, even beyond the light form of Adam Cadman or Melchizedek. The creative mind of Ether Asha Ether, which is I am that I am, or I shall be what I shall be, is a constant evolving, a constant remaking of every order of creation. When you say I am that I am, you're saying the higher evolution, the I am, is connecting with the lower evolution. I am. The higher self connects with the lower self. Boom. That's what you have within this meat suit, this physical form. You have a higher principle telling you to do this. You have a lower principle telling you to this. But the lower principle is fed through the world. Looks good, feels good, tastes good, sounds good. And the world is going to tell you that things inside of you are not right. Listen to what they're saying. We can get you famous. We can get you money. Everyone will love you. Everything, once again, depending on what's on the outside. We have to come to the collective agreement that everything you see on the outside is not good for you. In fact, only the things that are on the inside nurtured correctly are good. But let's keep going. All right, the third key tells us that creations that survive desire more than eternal life. They must also gather the light of the living because on the frequency of light, capital L light, conscious light, is determined the next threshold of biochemical evolution. Light is the emulations of divine love that desires to serve all manners of creation that serve the living light. So once again, what are we talking about when it says you must gather light, capital L, conscious light of the living? Because the frequency of conscious L, the conscious light, is determine your next threshold of biological evolution. So it's saying how you use your powers down here, your spiritual powers, your physical powers, what you do, what you say to people, how you go through. Are you conniving? Are you trying to jip people? Is it all about you? Can you encompass others? However you let this world affect the inner you, is going to determine where you're going to be on the next you when you die. All right? So don't think it determines anything else. Ain't nobody judging you. You've judged yourself on the way you've lived your life. Did you help people or hurt people? Did you spread the love or spread the hate? What'd you do? Or something in between? Where you at? That's why it says if your heart is lighter than a feather, than the Egyptian, the Maya, if your heart is lighter than a feather. Why is it lighter than a feather? Because you have so much love in it. It illuminates it. It makes it light. Lighter than what? A feather. Because of the amount of love, capital L love that you have. All right? All right, so the moreover, within the frequency of light, capital L light, conscious light, is determined the astrochemical parameters as to the width and dimensions of the size of a galaxy. From within the larger galaxy image, which is open-ended, just as the universe is open-ended. Meaning you can go down, you can get bigger, you can get smaller, open-ended. You're flowing with the flow around you. Everything is one thing. The semitude in the image making consistency is also open-ended, such as the universe is open-ended. All right. If you look at the original Hebrew scriptures, you'll find that man is made what? Into the image and semitude, right? Into indicates the evolution of continuing and gathering of light by the image and the semitude. All right, by why image, but why image and semitude? Image is not enough. Image will die with the creative light patterns of life. You need the semitude of space-time continuum of light to regenerate that image. What are they talking about? They're talking about you need a conscious vessel that stores these events going on, has a pattern, has an energy source beyond the image of the physical form. That's that soul. All right. This is why this is why man of light, capital L, who are conscious, the Adam cadman incarnates into the image of the Adamic species, meaning this is why we keep reincarnating back into human beings. Not a tiger, not a fly. No, we can't. The energy corpus. Well, it's like putting a jet engine in a lawnmower. It ain't gonna work. Once you've built the energy up, you keep it. Now you just have to learn your lessons and how to control it. All right. Without the semitude, the synchronicity of the incarnations repeating the light function, the light and the light frequency, the image would be here and die like a flash in the darkness. But the semitude can hold the consistency of light so that other evolutions can come into its image and feed off its image. All right. For we are not in the image of the world, in the world and not of it, but we're in the image of higher evolution. We're not in the semitude of the world, but we're in the semitude of higher evolution, meaning spirit, soul, entities exist without the physical body. The key goes on to say that higher evolution, which is an emulation, an image and pattern, a picture of the living universe. It is a part of the universal mind, which can be here as well as in any other universe at the same time. So it's saying there's a mind we're connected to that's higher than our mind. When we connect to it, we become co-participants in the infinite and the eternal, even on the physical realm. Because now we're allowed to see things that we could not see before. We can see multiple sun systems, planetary systems. We can see how plants and everything is a part of the universe of nature and love. We can see the power that love has, even in a world of darkness. All right, let me keep going. All right. So there can be multiple incarnations of higher creation. There can be multiple programs through the light, capital L light, manifestations without physical form. I'm going to say it again. There can be multiple incarnations of the higher evolution. There can be multiple programs through light manifestation without physical form. So it's just letting you know the physical form is just one vessel. And I'm telling you, it's the lowest and the worst, the one that needs food and it pisses and you need to eat living things to survive, to shit it out. You don't need to be on this realm, but hold on. All right. Light is both image and semitude. Light is both energy and matter. So it's all that within the light. You have high, pure, conscious light. You have low, slow, vibrational light, matter, physical. All of you up to pure light energy, consciousness. All right. The species of light that remain intact through these ages because they have an invincible protection of divine creation that withstands negative fields of desolation and abomination with their love of the creator, the divine, and their selfless devotion to conscious growth and evolution. All right. That's why they can't kill us. Whoever we are, wherever we manifest, in whatever race we manifest, that's why they can't kill us. All right. We're here to do a job and it's going to get done. What they don't know is the ways they try to stop the prophets by killing them really only speeds things up. So this shit even happens even quicker. But they have a plan and the creator has a plan. So we'll see who plan is next. So quickly, going to go over the next key. The key to the living, the bio-astro physical universe. Ooh, the pyramids of life. We're going to talk about these pyramids. Why are these pyramids? Oh, don't know what happened right there. Kicked me off my own show, but I'm back. So the keys of the living bio physical, biophysical, and astrophysical universe are the living pyramids of life, existing with every structure within every field of creation. So now we're going to go on. We just said about the many and the one. How is this achieved? Now we're going to go in about the pyramids and why they're all over the world, what they really represent. All right. Each level of evolution has a pyramid of light through which the human creation must pass through on its way of greater creation. If you go through our three-dimensional set of creation, we must go through a three-dimensional field of energy into a multi-dimensional field of pyramidal conscious light energy. Each pyramidal field of conscious light is energized by the Yuhe-Wavhe's eye at the center of the pyramid. Here's where you get the dollar and why they detach the pyramid, the eye in the pyramid from the actual pyramid, the lower pyramid of itself. Takes the mind from the body or from the actual foundation. Why does it do that? This is why. It's separating your conscious, your spiritual aspects, your divineness from your physical. Then it's feeding you an agenda and a diet that is not going to propel spiritual evolution. But let's keep going. All right. If you look at the crystals under the an electron microscope, you will find that the shape of the pyramid field is in a crystal forms of blood. What are seen is the Merkaba, which connects the key pyramids so that light can be used in unfolding the next stage of evolution. You don't know what the Merkaba is? This is the Merkaba. Those are the crystalline patterns that form pyramids within your blood. All right? Within those crystalline patterns, there's energy that can be transformed. That gives us that light, that vibrant about us when we are conscious, when we're alive, that energy in our eyes, that light that's there. All right? It flows through the blood. Consciousness flows through the blood. That's why the first thing they try to get you with is food, poison the blood. We can poison the blood, we can poison the consciousness. Once we poison the consciousness, we can start to affect the body. Because even if a person that is highly positive, thinking all great things, even if he's not eating right, love will maintain him. Love will keep him from being sick. This is the power. They did a study. On, I think it was 20 kids. Half the kids, 40 kids, half of them, 20 was having the best food, the best schooling, everything for, I think they did it for 6 months or 60 days, whatever it was. But the best school, the best everything, but they didn't really have parental love, someone coming in, nurturing them, talking to them, while the other 20 had just someone coming in being parent, but they had the worst meals. They really wasn't eating, they weren't as taken care of, a little more stressed out. And it showed at the end that the ones that had the parenting, the love, were actually more healthy than the ones that really got all the healthy meals. So what is it saying? It's showing you the power of love, how critical it is. All right. And why? Because love worked through these pyramids that are in your blood. These pyramids are the same cones that are in your mind. Those electrons forming little pyramid cones when they all light up together. Talking about the same thing, all right? So pyramids are built in grid formation and connect to the monochrons or chronometers, which measure the vibratory consciousness of a given planet in the units of 1,000 years. They determine when a successful conscious world can accept the physical extraterrestrial guides, which nurture them to God level, from God level 0 growth to God level 1, which is completing the pyramid at the God level 1 status. This growth occurs many times because the same planetary sphere to evolve many species of existence in innumerable worlds. So this is where you go through the Earth's crust and you find all these things thousands of years they were doing that we can't do right now. Why? Because these planes were going through the same cycles. It's called the precession of the equinox, a 26,000 year cycle or a 52,000 year cycle. 26,000 year cycle is a half day. one winding of the clock. That'll be 12 hours, right? Each hour would be a zodiac sign. Each zodiac sign would be 2,140 years of a cycle that goes all the way through. That equals about 26,000 years and some change. All right, that's one. That's a half a day from midnight to noon. But then you got to finish it off. You got to go from noon to midnight. And that's the 52,000 year cycle. It's called the precession of the equinox. All right, when the gathered are gathered. And right now we're at one of these spots, these ending of things. Now, how long could it be? It could be 10 years, 15, 100, shit, I don't know. No one knows the exact time, but you know it's coming. But the key is to go within and gather this truth that's going on, all right? So listen, human intelligence must be initiated into the pyramidal function of light, capital L, conscious light, before it can advance to the next ordering of evolution or the next conscious time cell. Man will see that he is a co-citizen, a co-participant in of star kingdoms, which are a part of cosmic pyramids, which are surrounded by crystalline spheres separating this universe from other universe. Same crystalline spheres that's in your blood. All right? As above, so below. Don't ever get it twisted. All right? So how does this happen? The process of transforming the human evolution to co-participate in higher evolution. This process of transformation is directed through the pyramidal functions of light balanced by the energies of the Shekinah universe. The Shekinah is just the spirit universe or the mother's universe, right? The mother's universe transforms the basic building blocks of intelligence out of the sea of the eternal to go into the presence of the eternal Father. The mother's universe is a substratum for the universe of the sun. A substratum means a underneath, a basis, a building blocks for it. The sun's universe consists of programs of creation and evolution directed by the paradise suns, spanning different life combinations of intelligence through gross material to pure light. So what does the suns do? It actually organizes these basic building blocks and brings into consciousness. What type of consciousness? Spiritual consciousness. All right. The sun's universe gathers the collective manifestations of gross material worlds that have been purified to be offered up to the sun. Meaning, once you can graduate from pure, all I think about is what looks good, feels good, tastes good, sounds good, smells good, my car, my radio, my house, my women, my drugs, and you can start seeing that there's higher principles. Once that happens, the Father's now universe, when now you get offers to the Father, up to the Father's universe. What does the Father's universe do? The Father's universe consists of universes, each having a creator God which sustain the eternal folding of the divine thought form. The divine thought form is all this projection of light that you see has a background of darkness, the great mother. All right. The Father's universe involves a celestial architect for the location of the throne and dominion. These seats of government dispatch commissionaries from the paradise sons and the Elohim lords of light, of creation of worlds and lower heavens. And it is only by the order of the Father's universe through the magistrates who sit on the council of thrones and dominions that the fallen paradise sons and the fallen hierarchy can be redeemed. So he's talking about these fallen Elohims. Who are these Elohims? These Elohims are the one that when they're in the Bible, they talk about God. And they talk about in Psalms, they're the gods of many gods. The gods were in judgment with many gods. Why? Because every Elohim represented a god. That's why the jealous God in the Bible said, don't take no other God but me. Why would he say that if there was no other God but him? If he just created everything, why would there even be a question? But these are things to spark the mind and open it up. All right. So in order to put man into the building blocks of a pyramidal geometry into triangular coordinates of pyramids of light, of conscious light, we have the key to the conscious light. Centropy is the electrification of matter, specifically in the material form, light being the highest amplification of centropy. Centropy, the electrification of matter. Thoughts, when you have a good thought, you got a great idea. You're remembering things on a test. You're an athlete and you're in the zone, you catching everything, or you're in a basketball player and you throwing up everything and it's just going in. Football player, you making plays. Centropy, the electrification of matter, the essence of creation. All right. This light is the highest application of centropy. Light. Remember, light is both energy and matter. Light is both what was it? Color and conscious. All right. In your mind, light functions by maser. Maser, or that's a maser means the microwave amplification by stimulated emissions of radiation. Maser, microwave application of stimulated radiation, stimulated emissions of radiation. All right. All photons are in step. That is, they all are reinforced in the same frequency of molecules and mind energy into physical energy. So it's talking about magic. It's talking about prayer. It's talking about contemplation when we think. It's talking about taking something from this imaginary world from the mind and bringing it down into the physical. Because everything we got down here was made in the mind first. All right. So now essentially the knowledge can be used to find a formula to explain how light creates the quantum corpuscles of light in the brain, allowing the brain to work as it does as a computer. So this light is coming from somewhere, and our brains are picking it up. Not only picking it up, absorbing it, right? Why? Because centropy is the fundamental relationship between the quantitatively catalogs all matter energy interactions and interreaction. Man must consider himself a part of a larger ionized field of intelligence operating as a part of an relationships. Yet since he is more than a host of linear unity of centropy, more than just a body, even in the mind, spirit, body form, more than just a body, as an energy potentiality for converting centropy to zero, reaching a point of pure energy, he can break the matter energy construct through certain forms of mind expansion. What is he talking about? Meditation, concentration, things of that nature. All right. What is we saying? So the principles show that the universe is rebuilding itself as it is breaking itself down. All right, the catalog and the new geometries of consciousness to continue in a time cell of higher evolution. All right, negative spins as high evolutions, all functions of electrification of energy as well as decay, negative spins of energy, bring time, space, and matter through a pyramid of light as the dimensions of energy conversion, whereby the mind reaches out to luminarities, and this process allows man to leave behind the laws of entropy, death, and decay, and join the unity with other intelligence who exist on the other energy fields of creation serving the capital L conscious light. It's telling you the next realm you're going to go to. When there's a new heavens and a new earth, what are they talking about? They're talking about these realms of light where there's no death. You've graduated from the physical. We're done with this shit. But you can only be done with it when you choose to be done with it. If you're still going by and you want loving what looks good, feels good, tastes good, sounds good, smells good, and that's your only purpose, then how can you have output or an input for higher evolution? You can't. So evolution from the physical body of creation into a higher intelligence requires a deeper understanding of life as a multi-dimensional evolution where the individuality does not count, only the continuality of the species. This means that all 7 chakras must first work perfectly in harmony and complete alignment with the 10 plane of light, conscious light, coordinating the 8th chakra, connecting the link of the overself, working with the Christ body of light. And once man can go beyond the physiological limitations of self and desire only to serve his fellow creations and the Father with his purified himself from all carnal perceptions and manifested love to require an outer garment of light. So you have raised your consciousness to a point where this physical body can no longer hold your love. your consciousness, and you rise yourself into the next realm. That's what the whole uh um that's what the whole heart and the feather, the Mayat, is about. How you're using your love and light, right? All right. So we just sat there and talked about the pyramids. Now they want to talk about the astrophysical time zones, the 3 and the 1. The key to our astrophysical time zones is the 3 and the 1. Sound familiar? The Trinity. Uh, the alignment of consciousness forces in the great sky in the great pyramid with the 12 and 1 energies of the time warp pyramid centered and controlled by the many and the 1 in the throne energy of Orion and Pleiades. Now they're about to break down how large this is. The house of many mansions, the many and the 1. I mean, the Trinity, the 3 and the 1. What is the 12 and the 1 energies? The 12 cranial nerves that go around your pineal gland. All right. To when your pineal gland is activated to higher energy, that could be your 12 disciples. It could be your 12 zodiac signs. All right. All these things represent what is going on inside of you. All right. So the key is speaking of consciousness of directly. This key is speaking directly of consciousness programming. It is telling us that conscious program is connected with the Great Pyramid. Conscious forces of the Great Pyramid are cued in specific star points, which working with planetary time warp areas. So what is it saying? It's saying that places on the Earth have certain cues that when we get to a certain point of consciousness, love and light, we can have access to move to the next realm. All right. Enoch explained to me how the Brotherhood of Light first thought out to upgrade intelligence upon this planet eons ago. All right, here's where you get your stories of the Bible. In the first attempt in the recent cycles took place in the Talcom Desert, where civilizations of Ta was evolved 36,000 years ago and reached over a vast area where man would now call South America. The great city areas were built and seeded with great technology of the heavens so that man could directly call upon the names of the Lords of Light while living in bodies were of great light and bodies of light molecular density. So what is he saying? So in one part, we used to work directly with the Lords of Light, the council, the galactic council, other worlds of establishment, all of us being one world in one. All right. What happened to this? What happened from it? Here we go with the fall. This is what the fall represented. After this experiment ended in disaster, with the people of the light intermarrying the fallen offspring of the Lords of Light, another experiment was generated in the area of the world known as Atlantis. So one experiment was, ended in disaster. So the fallen, so you had the Lords of Light, then you had the fallen Lords of Light, then you had the humans, right? And you had all of them gathered all on the same joint, where all one is trying to do good, the other trying to do what they want to do. Because you had the fallen Lords of Light would have been the gods that they were talking about in the Bible that said, no, I'm your only God. They fallen from the pattern, knowing that there is a Father, that they are not the only one. So the area was known as Atlantis. Their technology built the crystalline attunement for the matter and antimatter cycles of the physical and non-physical worlds. By stepping up or slowing down the frequency of energy between the cycles of the two cycles, they could shift in time, space could occur. However, this ended in what? Failure due to the mixing of the genetic codes, the factors of light by which the fallen access Lords of Light who use their crystalline technology to bring what? Great civilizations of conscious light into war and destruction. Why? Okay. They had already fallen. Once the Lords of Light have fallen, they said, no, everybody come, all y'all coming with us. We all gonna be lusting and after what looks good, feels good, tastes good, sounds good, smells good. And we're gonna put a telelive vision thing out there, telelive radio. We're gonna warp everything you see, everything you hear, and we're gonna have a touch in it. All right. The last attempt to generate high Pacific genetic people took place during the Egyptians 6,000 years ago when the great people of Israel, known as the higher spiritual capacity, were implanted to upgrade the people of the world by bringing in the message of Yuhewave, of the light of all nations. So they tried it again, right? And it failed again. All right, to understand the cycles of the present evolution, we must understand how the Brotherhood are still connected to the pyramids of Egypt as a continuum of the Joseph, Moses, Jesus, in the initiation and the governing of the species of the Israelites who were in the pyramid builders of consciousness in the name of the living light, and to lead the nations of man away from false gods of the world as they are gathering of the 12 sparks of the Brotherhood of light. So what is it trying to say? It says Egypt represents the mathematical, astronomical, pyramidal functions of the earth exemplified in the Great Pyramid of Giza. So Israel represents spiritual capstone of light, capital L, conscious light. All right. What up, Jazzy?
What's up, bro?
Hold on, my brother. I'm gonna get with you. So
No,
Israel
I'm
represents to receive the 10 Commandments were traveling through the geophysical pyramid of the peninsula. So when we're talking about Israel, it was more than just 10 Commandments. All right. They're talking about the negative confessions of Maya, what I have not done. They just took 10. All right. So when humanity finds spiritual Israel within, not without, not the land, not even the people, because the people have it within them. So the people are, when humanity finds the spiritual Israel within, the knowledge in the alignment of the Great Pyramid without, they can place the capstone of spiritual freedom upon the foundations of this world. So that's why what I'm doing right now, Bobby Hammett, Brother Panic, we just trying to open up your minds to know that there's other aspects, other worlds, a whole galaxy of Earth-like planets and beings of light. All right, like us, trying to get from one realm to the next. What's good, Jazzy Fizzle?
What's going on, bro?
Oh,
How you
I was
doing?
just doing a recap of the first few chapters before we get into chapter 10, trying to catch
Okay.
them up. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
I'm gonna just be listening.
Well, if you got something to say, you already know because you already heard some of it, so it may spark you a different way. All right, so let's go on. The Great Pyramid is built on such a point where the magnetic fields under the earth, those on the surface of the earth, and those the celestial fields all across the cross so that the fields of alignment are direct. So that's why every pyramid is built where it's built. It actually has a mathematical constant that actually supposed to activate the earth in a certain way. But shit, they done robbed them pyramids, I'm assuming, of most of their energy by just taking out all the gold and jewels. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see. So let's keep going. So, all right. The magnetic fields align through areals, magnetic energies, which mark the points where energies from outer space pour into the Earth's surface. That's your magnetic north and south pole. All right. These areals are balanced on the Earth. My bad. I should have just waited. By the magnetic Earth, north and south pole. At the same time, there's tremendous solar flare movement bombarded in these magnetic periods of the Earth in the fields of Earth, where they're sent with cataclysmic imbalance, spinning the shell of the Earth to a new magnetic meridians, which find their balance in equatorially. So basically, they're saying is when the whole Earth shifts, it isn't going to be a big shift. It ain't going to be like a everyone's going to die shift. It's just going to be what we're getting now. We're getting a lot of fires, floods, all that. It's already happening. Everybody thinks things are just going to be one big, lightning's just going to fall from the sky and everybody's dead. Nah, don't work like that. All right. Things are happening right now. You just have to open your eyes and see it. Look at what animals are doing, Jazzy. Coming up to people, asking them to save their people, not biting vicious animals like, no, I need you. They follow the animal and they find out, oh my God, they stuck in the pit, or they got the whale is trapped in the net. The turtle, a shark pushed the turtle onto the boat. When they looked, they seen that the turtle had a string wrapped around his neck. Now if they can get conscious, where are we supposed to be going?
And there's more than one video about that out right now too. I mean, it's the deer, it's all kind of stuff. And
right, all types of animals showing that they're being activated spiritually. All right. So as we keep going, all right. At this point in our conscious time zone, the celestial lords of light will come back in the order of galactic command of Orion, which govern the universes to save the Adamic seed. They will deliver their seed and the seeds of other nations who wish to be coded into the galactic tree of the living light in the paradise mansions of the Father. So, what does that mean? Once again, us of spiritual that can see without eyes, hear without ears, smell without nose, taste without a tongue. All right. Us can see, but us that are trapped down here, all right, that cannot accept higher evolution, that cannot accept love, that are programmed to want everything and step on someone or hurt someone to do whatever they got to do so that they can get it. Unfortunately, this is where we're going. All right. Okay, so they deliver the seeds and the seeds of the other nations who wish to be coded in the galactic tree of life of the living in the paradise mansion worlds of the Father. Those who can accept Christ's seed, Buddha seed, Muhammad seed, any of the lords of light. So it's even letting you know, even your religion is not going to stop you if your heart is in the position of love. Doesn't matter what you believe in. Can you love?
Mm-hmm. And you know what's so funny is that what happens is that soon as we was talking about last night, all my brothers and sisters came over and we was talking about 9/11, you know, and then like no matter if you was a racist, no matter what it was, but when that national something that happened to affect everybody, then everybody came together, you know, and that's where the part where the love kicks in, what you was just saying.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like the pandemic, you know what I mean? It's like we just experienced that not too long ago. Well, it's been like, believe it or not, 5 years, but people were coming together. You know, whenever something collectively um, affects all of us, then you'll start to see a different part of people. All of that stuff what they was talking about as far as financial status, um, if you like white, black, yellow, green, you know what I mean, whatever, all of that goes out the window because
when
love
push
kicks in.
comes to shove, you see who a person is.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just be real.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when you got money, you ain't got no money, you broke. Now we start to see what type of character you got.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's the only way. It doesn't come out when you're on top of the world, when you can do whatever you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
In fact,
that shows the
goes
animalistic side of you.
Facts. So listen to this. So those who can accept whatever seed any of the lords of light will have within them an active channel of light, which will allow them to function as the Adamic race upon other worlds in other universes.
Mm-hmm.
The world they will inherit will depend upon the maturity of the soul and the way they allow the light, capital L light of love, to function within the service to their fellow creation. Not just man, all creation.
All
any
creation.
creation. So it's sitting here telling you right here, okay, you don't have to worry about where you're going to go. All right? If you can accept and you have the ability to love, you're going to be a co-participant because you've shown that you can love in the world lack thereof. In the realm of spatial darkness. That's where we at. We in the belly of the beast. That's why they can't get past the firmament. Nothing comes in, nothing comes out. Only thing that comes in is shit that was cast down here. Why is it cast down here? Because these are the final days of this earth. It's gonna be, they're gonna finish with the earth. Don't get it twisted. You're gonna have many that choose, now I'm gonna ride this earth thing on out. Nigga, do you see the meteorites coming? It's about to burn, bro. This shit's done. Right. I'm gonna ride this on out, though. I'm gonna ride it on out. Okay, Tempo.
They show it in every movie, like especially stuff where the earth turns to fire or they get bombed or something. Then afterwards, life starts over. The total reset, basically, is.
But it even said it in here. I just finished reading it. How it says the earth has been used on many eons and many cycles. And we just talked about how there was a failed experiment. Atlantis was a failed experiment. Egypt was a failed experiment. You see what I'm saying? Lemuria, failed experiment. Higher evolution coming down, doing shit, and we all mixing together. Now you got giants and all types of nymphium and spiritual essence down here, mad at each other, fighting each other. So it just shows that, you know, as we move through here, we're supposed to get better.
The one thing about Earth, it never changes. It's just a constant recycle of
If we know the Earth has been here for millions and millions of years, are we that stupid to think that we are the only
The only
conscious
one.
people that have ever lived on the Earth ever?
Right, right,
Ever.
right.
So it shows our pettiness and how we think everything evolves around us.
I don't even think they know how old it really is.
They don't.
I'm thinking, you know what I'm saying?
They guessed that the oldest person was a million years.
But what about before even, you know what I'm saying? That's
Well,
this
you know why
cycle.
they can't guess it? Because you got to remember the Earth was in a spiritual form, an etheric form before it was in a physical form.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another lifetime of the infinite and the eternal we talking about. But basically, it's just to show that, hey, we have to program our minds to go beyond what we're seeing, hearing, looking, tasting, feeling, and all that. We got to go inside to open up the gland so we can start to see other worlds of existence that exist within us and around us at the whole time, just on another frequency.
You know, it's funny because even if you go biblically, you read Genesis. If you go through Genesis 1 through say 12, 1 through 5, 1 through 12, it tells you that in the beginning was the word, was, you know, no. So and then it jumps and it shows, it's telling you, you don't know how many resets that actually happened before we actually got to this stage.
Well, Genesis, the genes of Isis, you know, the creator of the nine ether, the being, the creator of the nine ether being. That's what she talking about when she put her essence into the clay, blew into the essence or whatever, however it goes, how she genetically, you know, they're just talking about gene splicing, how we make frozen embryos. That's all. And she carried it to term 10 months, not 9. All right. And it just showed, boom, once that atom, he was made from clay, but yet he was a part of a spiritual being, a spiritual way. He was one with his mother. But they can't get into that because they have this whole religion thing that's got people right where they want them.
It just seems like every time man gets to a certain point of knowledge, then everything just...
Well, right, but you have two ways of it happening. You get to a certain part of knowledge and they just come down and be like, all right, y'all good. Y'all pass this test. Y'all good. You ain't break nothing. You ain't destroy nothing. You got to where you need to go. Now you're bronze. Come on, we're taking you to the next realm. The Aztecs, they were there and then they were gone. Not dead, not mass. They just were gone.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So this ain't nothing new, but it wasn't no aliens coming down, boom, 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 boom. They were already in contact. They were one people. We're one with these different beings around us, where if you look at the way the movies and things, everything's against it. Everybody want to kill humans. They want our resources. They want our minds. They want our bodies. Everybody. And it's actually, the funny thing of it is, it's true, but not the way they're saying it. They want to be able to come down here in the human form so they can get this energy, learn these lessons, let their soul get stronger. See, when you're infinite and eternal, you're already at the top. You don't die. Okay? You learn forever. You come into a human body, oh no, nigga, you dying. And you're learning at a capacity for whatever that physical body can do from one to the next. It's a total different experience. At one point, go ahead.
No, so that's what I was asking. So referring to, it's just like when the whole world, whether they accept it or not, becomes somewhat type form of consciousness. Because even if we see it in the animals, you know, and in nature, man today has to have some form of consciousness. But the thing about it is just that I think they suppress it or reject it. You know what I mean? And
well, it's the same thing. We talk about it. If you're going by what looks good, feels good, tastes good, sounds good, smells good, if that is your direction of what you focus most of your energy in, how are you going to have time to see something inside you when you're too worried about what other people doing?
Right.
Or the food you eat, or the drugs you taking, or how big your car is. or about the date you're going on, or the clothes. You see what I'm saying? If you think about it, most people don't even have time for the spirit to do anything with themselves because they're so caught up in what's going on in the world.
But what will happen is that if you don't make time, you know what I'm saying, time will be made for you.
If you don't get it in this lifetime, you get it in the next.
Or even this lifetime, you can only go so far.
Well, I mean, you're right.
You know what I'm saying? Didn't you? Even like Will Smith,
The
you know
truth
that
will
video.
be known sooner or later to everyone.
Will
Facts.
Will Smith was up there going ahead, and he was like, after you brought everything, after you've done everything that you
Yep.
want, you know what I'm saying? And then there's still, he's like, and then you still at a place of emptiness.
Ain't enough.
Even he had all the five sugars, he had
He
everything,
had everything.
and he
I can
still
give
just
you the whole world for the price of your soul. And if you take it, you'll be a loser, a big one.
and
Because why? Happiness comes from where, Jazzy?
within. It comes
Thank
from
you.
within.
Satisfaction comes from within. Being satisfied comes from within. Love, forgiveness, respect, empathy comes from within. All these are inner principles that we project onto the world. What does the world project? Hate, separateness. Give me.
Big on separation. That's
Big
what
on
this whole
separation.
that's what this whole universe is derived on is separation. Everything is separation here. Everything.
But it's separated only through what looks good, feels good, tastes good, sounds good. Once you go on the end, you see that there is no separation. Just the opposite. It's unity.
But see, that's what I mean. It's built on separating one from self.
Yes.
That's what this
That's what they teach
whole
us. Yes.
that's what this whole thing is about. Getting you separated from self.
In
Because if they
Egypt,
can get you outside of yourself, they can control you any
and
kind of
how
way
are
they
they going to
want to.
do that? Looks good, feels good, tastes good, sounds good, smells good. That's how they do it. So they get you trapped into it. Now you have no time for the inner you.
I remember when in the early days when we was just podcasting when we was driving, and then I had the other phone, and then I would had that one recording us while when I was driving before we started doing the. So I remember one of the things I gotta send you those because one of the things you mentioned was about like with religion, and then it was showing. Man, that one was so good. It was talking about how actually they sat and seen that we are son people and that we had all the glorification within ourselves. And then what they did, somebody's like, I can show you how to get the power. Come over here or come over there. And that's how religion started. They was taken away from what we already have. And then they tried to make you think like they got the answer or something better over there. And it's built on a lie. I gotta
Well,
send you
no,
that.
they took our original stuff. They not making up anything new, bro.
New.
Don't get it
Nothing's new
twisted.
under the sun.
Nothing. They ain't making up nothing new. They took our original stuff of 5,000, 10,000 years ago and said, oh shit, we can use this figure here. But look at how they had to do it.
They had to give you an
Alexander, he had to
image.
beat a nigga over the head. Christopher Columbus was hanging people and families and killing people and raping people. Just all in the name of what? Christianity. Why? Because in the Bible it says, in the New Testament it says, treat your slave master as God, as you would treat me. So then it justifies them morally to have slaves. And then you can justify a slave for being a slave if you want. It's all a matter of thought, bro.
And then
All the Willie Lynch syndrome. Willie Lynch, that's all part of that.
Program the mind where it make you think like, well, it's not so bad over here after all. I can go out
Program
there.
a slave to the point where he don't even know he was a slave. Slaves got set free. They ain't even know for years.
You know, remember
The mind. Think of what did Harriet Tubman say? I could have freed more slaves if they knew they were slaves. They ain't even know, Jazzy. This is the point that they tried to reduce us
right
to.
now. That's the same thing right now.
Yeah, facts. They don't even know who they are.
Right now.
Don't even know who they are.
In the story, Who Moved My Cheese? With the two little mice and the two little men in the maze. He was like, I don't want to go out there because it's scary out there. And then he was like, what's scary out there? How do you even know? And then he was like, I'm afraid. He's like, what are you afraid of? He said that something may get us. You know, so he programmed his own mind to go ahead and put bondage on his. If y'all haven't read that book, go get that book. They have it on. It's on YouTube too. You can listen to it. It's Who Moved My Cheese. I forgot the author, but it's a white book and it's got blue lettering on it and it's got cheese, a block of cheese on it, and it's about two little people and two mice that was put in a maze, and it shows how to overcome your fears. It's a pretty good book. I go back and listen or read it from time to time. It's a very good book. But what I was saying is that they program mental. They program the one guy was programmed so much, and then the two little rats. He's like, man, where they went? He said, but if we leave, we may not find no more cheese. You know, they were so
Mhm.
caught on conditioning of just what they seen right there. There was no faith. There was no nothing. It was just like you're programmed to stay right here, and then the cheese started to diminish, and then the one guy was like, look, I don't care. You can stay here. I'm going out in the maze. You know what I'm
I
saying?
gotta go find something else.
And then all the handwriting was on the wall. He was leaving messages as the guy was, you know what I'm saying? But it's just so much. If we can program our mind, I mean, unprogram our mind to program it to go within, and you know what I'm saying, and just to go ahead,
Unlearn, relearn, and
relearn,
learn again.
learn again. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's true
So
what you
think of
said
how
about,
difficult it is to change someone's mind.
mm.
It's
especially if
almost
you,
impossible.
especially if you're older,
Yeah,
and
that's dead. That's
that's
dead.
that that's why record companies and movie actors and stuff, what they try to do is that they try to grab people between the ages of 12 and 25, because in the record industry, if you're over 25, they can't really program you to be what
My
they want to.
God, they
You
can't
know what
bend.
I'm
That's
saying?
why they get you young, right?
They get you
You
young,
get an
and in the
older person,
movies.
oh, no, bro, I don't want no deal, nigga. We can do a
Hmm.
consignment, nigga, you
Hmm.
50-50. Because they
Like
know you
Disney.
ain't you ain't getting none of my points, you ain't getting none of my publishing. I write all these things. I know what you're
Because
saying.
Disney the same way. You know what I'm saying? They get these little kids, and their parents don't know anything, and then they sign in away and away and away, and then all of a sudden they don't did
Like I
all of this
said,
stuff.
everything they've been doing is starting to come to a head. I was
Mm.
talking about this Hollywood, record industry. You
You
see,
can't. I don't even know how
sports,
the record industry is even surviving now, because nobody's buying records. They're streaming everything.
and they're getting all the money from the streaming. All
Mm.
now, instead of you getting at least some points off the record,
Mm-hmm.
you get less than that. You gotta sell like 1,000,000 records to
No.
get $5,000. What? What?
Mm.
What? What the? Don't make no
It's
sense.
yeah. I mean, it's best to just do it yourself.
But once again, it just goes by to what is your mind programmed into.
Hmm.
Record execs, they programmed into the music.
Hmm.
Musical artists, they're programmed to the athletes, programmed in what they do. Even it's still, none of us are here for a job. I don't care what you do.
Hmm.
You're here to gather love and light to get to the next round.
It's even in
But we're never taught
athleticism.
about this.
Hmm. You
That's the
know,
problem.
I was just reading how many boxers just retired. You know what I'm saying? Because they said that it's not right. You know what I'm saying? So you got people that's been started boxing or start playing basketball or football. They starting younger and younger. 4 years old with flag. Then they go to Pop Warner. Then they go
Just
to
think of how
middle
many
school.
blows to the head by the time they're graduate from college, before they even if they make it to the NBA or NFL, how many blows it, man, that shit takes a toll, bro. I don't
Broken
care what
limbs.
nobody say.
Yeah, yeah.
A toll.
Hmm. That's
That's
what my
tough.
son said. Because like even when I was like, man, you don't want to play no more, and then he was like, nah. He was like, and I was like, dude, I mean, in high school, he was scoring like 4 or 5 touchdowns a game, 2,000 yards, 25,000
No,
yards a
that nigga got
season.
popped. I'm telling you. One
And then
pop will change everything.
he went off to college. You know what really changed him was when he had my grandson.
Mm.
That's what happened because he didn't even he was skipping practice and this and that because he was in New York City. He was catching the bus to go back home and when he was in Maryland to go be with his girlfriend and the baby. So at that point he was just like, and then I was like, He's like, Dad, I'm gonna take a break, but I was like, well, I don't want you to do it for me. I want you to do it for
Yeah,
yourself.
for you, right.
Yeah, but then he was like, "Damn, I'm definitely gonna get drafted. I'm gonna go to the NFL." This I was like, "Dude, you know." But then when he said no, he don't want to do it. I ain't bothering him no more. But everybody still come up to him and is like, "Dude, you're still not too late. You can go play in the." He's like, "I'm done." You know what I'm saying? But that's when you come, wise enough to know what your body can take, what you're willing to go through, or maybe he's seen something in there that wasn't right for him.
True. Facts. I mean, if you're gonna say you're done with that, you gotta have a backup plan.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Most of them ain't got
Mhm.
no damn backup plan.
Mhm.
Once that dream fails, or you even, like you said, change your mind. Well, shit, what I'm gonna do now?
Do now.
I
You
could
gotta
have
have.
stayed in school and just got my degree.
Have an A, B, and C route that you want to go. If you're thinking on the earthly terms, if you're thinking spiritual, go within yourself. You know what I'm saying? And ask spirit what's best for you. But you know what,
Facts.
mental. Um, I didn't want to cut you. We got off topic.
No, no,
Did
no,
you
no, no. We're
you
right there
reading?
because what we
Okay.
were talking about is the aspect of what consciousness. How are we seeing shit? Are you
Mhm.
looking through them senses, them five senses, and
Mhm.
that's it, or are you looking from within?
Mhm.
Okay, and now we're about to get into the biological testing zone. What is a biological testing zone? That is what we are in right now. That's
Mhm.
this cauldron. We got
Mhm.
high spiritual entities, high Damien entities, demonic, and everybody down here
Mhm.
fighting to see what's going to come out. All right.
Mhm.
Because some of them are exiled down here to see because of their choosing not to go with the father's plan, and the higher ones come down here to see who gonna shake free. What type of spiritual essence you gonna get out of here?
I got a question before you start.
Uh huh.
Explain, like you just said, what entities that come down here. But what about all of that that's a part of you? What's the difference?
What do you mean?
How you have angels, Damians, all a part
Right.
of yourself.
And you have beings that never been in a physical body in their first experience in a physical body. You got beings that been in the physical body 1,000 times and
Hmm.
all in between.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
You got some entities that's been that have been casted down
Hmm.
to these realms because of what they've done in higher realms. You got some that come down there to help the ones down here from the ones that have been casted down, the fallen Elohims, the fallen lords of light.
So is that all a part of you?
It's all a part of our nature. It's showing that no matter how high we go, there'll always be uh, a free will for you to do what you want. You do not have to follow the Father's plan.
Hmm.
The eternal, you do not. Even though the plan is perfect,
Hmm.
it works. You can get big, so I'm gonna try a different plan, my plan, where I can go down to this planet and have all these earthly women out.
Right. That's how panic was.
You
When
see what I'm
panic was
saying?
like,
I can
it's
go,
like
I can do this, and I can do that, and I can
because
do
it's
this.
not me.
It is you, because now we're talking back then.
Right.
As long as you're not interfering with the Earth's progression. See, we were supposed to be on a plan,
Hmm.
on a progression to move to in certain spots at certain times. When the fallen Elohims did that, they destroyed they interrupted the progression. The problem with that is our frequency or our level of creation is a thin line, and there's another one right over us and another one right on. If you mess with ours, you mess with the ones before us and after us. As above, so below. People don't understand how tied we are. The multiverse, how
Hmm.
tied we are to each other.
Isn't that still? But what I'm asking is like, is that still part of the one of the all of you? You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's okay because it's you're having
If
your
Jazzy
experience.
sent himself out in 5 different bodies, but with the same Jazzy personality and mindset, I don't care what the body, how you function in the body, I should be able to recognize Jazzy.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Doesn't really matter what meat suit, what suit you got on. It's
Mm-hmm.
all about the intellect, the consciousness, the
Mm-hmm.
personality. We get that individual personality from the essence of the only personality of that there ever was, the only one there is, and we get a piece of it. Since we're in these meat suits, we're living different lives. We grow differently, but we come back to the one.
Mhm.
But that one piece of us can have 9 bodies. All of us
Which
come back
gives
with the experience of what we serve. So why? Because if we're going to be creator gods, creating universes and galaxies and planets and humans, it's part of our job to know and to what do they call bestow ourselves in each form of creation.
mm,
Meaning, if there's human beings, we need to be human. See what it's about.
mhm,
So then we can do our job when we're governing humans.
mhm,
Solar system. Oh, I gotta be the son of the solar SUNSSON. Why? Because I gotta see how this solar system works. Because I'm gonna be
mhm,
creating solar systems, galaxies. I gotta see how they work.
mhm.
I gotta put myself in it
You
so
know,
I
and
know.
the thing then is just like, because what happens is when your eye opens to another level, the first thing that you want to do is gain knowledge. You want to know why. You want to know why this, you want to know why that. You know, you want to, like you said, solar system, internal, um, external. You want to know why the wind blows. You know,
Entropy, centropy.
so for somebody, even for myself, I know the answer is, I'm gonna tell what the answer is afterwards, but how do you focus on, because some things you should know, there's some things you'll never know, right? I mean, no matter how much you research, how much you this, I mean, from the typical, like if you really want to know, we know how you
Well,
do
it
it.
depends on what you want
You,
to know. I wanted to
yeah.
know the workings of the universe.
So
That's what
right.
I
So
wanted to know.
so we know the answer how to go ahead if you truly want to know, right? Like I said, I'm gonna reveal it, but I want you to
Mm.
go in before I say the answer. What I know that you're gonna agree with me on how we, but for somebody new or someone that's just tapping in, like I had a friend, a Facebook friend, right? I don't really know this person. However, one of the things, like, you put the little notes when you're in your inbox and you see all the way across the top, and then some
Uh-huh.
people say like, "Oh, it's a good day." It just be like a little note. Okay, so somebody said it was a young lady. She was like, "This is so hard," right? And then so I was like, my thing is, I was like, "What's so hard?" And then she was like, "Awakening." And I was like, ah, I've been there. You know what I'm saying? It'd be the little things that you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really look for the big picture no more. I just look for that little thing where somebody's searching. You know what I'm saying? And then so she was like, and I was like, listen, I said, I've been there. You know, the one thing about it, you're not alone. I said, but you may feel like you're alone, but there's a whole bunch of people that are connected, like how we connected, how we have our tribe. You know what
Well,
I'm saying? But
you're only alone until you realize that every ancestor already has your back.
back, but
From
for
as
somebody,
far back as you go, you got so many people on your side. The shit is ridiculous.
but you don't know that in the beginning.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
And
it
so
is lonely. It's going to
this
be lonely at one point, or whether you're
point,
in the beginning, middle, end. You're going to feel it because
even going
it
through the
makes
middle
you,
part of it, you
it
just feel
makes you
like
in a world and not of
not
it.
of it, because
Now
nothing
you
here
don't go to the
pertains to
club.
you.
Now you don't
Right.
talk about things everyone else. Now you don't care about if New England wins the Super Bowl. You don't care about
Mm-hmm.
the Steelers win. Don't care about the Knicks.
Mm-hmm.
None of that means anything.
Nothing.
I
Nothing. But
mean,
you got to get to that point. So when I seen that, because you know what, if you're not strong enough and you're opening too fast, it can kind of like destroy you too. You know what I'm saying? Either way, you're gonna learn. You know what
too
I'm saying?
fast or too slow is not right. You want that steady middle spot, wherever it may be. But
So the
that's where the
best.
spirit of truth comes in on the inner you. If you're using the powers that you were granted, the spiritual shit would not be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is we've been programmed to go against
Mm-hmm.
our inner self in
You know.
every way that we can.
You know what happens too is just like when I started. back in like like in the teens of 2000s when I really started, and then my mind went to a place where it was like, how am I going to do this? You know what I'm saying? And I just it made me it make you. However, there was always someone there, whether it was you, whether it was this, whether it was there. If I look back now, Spirit was still sprinkling,
Everything
things.
you need.
You didn't see it while you was going through it, but and as I look back, I'm just like, I had everything that I truly needed to succeed. So when that person said that in that little note,
Uh-huh.
it just took me back, and then it was like Spirit was just like, tell them that you know what, they're not alone. That there's a whole tribe of people that's out here, and that every time that you think that you are, it'll be somebody like me that'll come by and say, you know what,
Not
whatever you
alone,
need.
baby. Facts. Well, that's why we're in this testing zone. I mean, in fact, it goes right in. So, biological testing zone surrounds our central sun. Both the physical universe, one spectrum of the local universe, and the surrounding biochemical testing zones are superseded by an invisible world of negative mass, which shapes the atomic nucleus and is used as the building blocks of physical energy systems in our visible galaxies. What is that invisible world?
Mm-hmm.
What is it?
It's a
That's that
spiritual world.
darkness.
Mm-hmm.
That's that 93% of darkness.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That's that invisible world of negative mass, triple stage of darkness, nine ether.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thus, the physical world proceeds out of the world of negative mass, which is used for the purification of trapped light. What is it saying? What is that negative mass? Remember, we was talking about it before light, before matter, before
Mm-hmm.
energy. That negative mass, before
Mm-hmm.
time, before space, before place,
Mm-hmm.
before shape, before spirit, before soul.
Mm-hmm.
That realm made this realm.
Mm-hmm.
But
Because it was
this
still
realm that
conscious,
we're
it's just it was on another set of consciousness that
just
we.
on another level,
Mm-hmm.
on an infinite and an eternal level.
Mm-hmm.
Then once
Mm-hmm.
you get these bodies, you sacrifice yourself on the cross of space and time.
Mm-hmm.
The blueprint for the universe in the world of negative mass or the world of decay, all right, not negative mass, I'm sorry, the world of negative mass or decay pre-exists in the higher heavens in the codes of Pleiades. These codes of the Elohim of light in Orion create the formations of negative mass, which is modulated or shaped by the thought forms of the Lord of Light in the creation of physical universes and mass evolution. So they're forming all of this from these thought forms,
Mm-hmm.
slowing it
Everything
down.
thought for him.
Everything's thought form, slowing it down to have this mass evolution to give the illusion that you're
Mm-hmm.
actually dying
Mm-hmm.
when you're not,
Mm-hmm.
because the inner us can't die. We're in the
Mm-hmm.
world and not of it.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the Coca-Cola can, you can say it, and you don't in your mind. You can be a superhero, you can fly, you can be at the beach right now, you can feel the wind, you can taste the burger, all that right now without never having it.
The power is in the mind.
The power, so it's trying to demonstrate how
Mm-hmm.
and why the power is in the mind. Because why?
Mm-hmm.
Because this whole realm was created in the mind. It's
Mm-hmm.
all mental. That's where
Mm-hmm.
we get this is all mental from.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
you tap back into that infinite mind. You tap back into the original creation.
That's law number one. The how
The seven laws of Tehati or the universal laws. Everything is
yeah
mental.
I know it by heart too.
Seven Maya? No.
The mind is all in the universe is mental.
Yes, the mind is
That's the
all in the
first. That's the
universe's
first
energy.
law. Okay.
So then it goes on. So we're formed out of this decay. So we're going through life and death,
Mm-hmm.
allowing some form star seeds evolution to unfold in the given forms of light continuality. Thus, the
Mm-hmm.
physical life proceeds out of mass evolution.
Mm-hmm.
But Orion will shape the higher astrochemical wavelengths for our sun, which cannot create, which are not created by mass evolution. Moreover, these higher creative functions, they are madrids or many arrangements of patterns for the astrochemical destinies in the heavens. where Pleiades and Orion are cooperatively used in programming the life synthesis of pure light bodies of Orion into transfigured corresponding bodies forms of the Pleiadic programs. So it's sitting here telling you right now, Orion has got your light body, that body in you, the one that doesn't need to eat, doesn't need to sleep, that part of you, where it programs these bodies into what? To Pleiades, the physical form that they will be housed in. So it's breaking down how we even get here, where the thing. That's why in the sky, you see certain constellations every night. Orion is every night. Pleiades is every night. Big Dipper, Little Dipper, every single night. Same stuff. Moreover, the higher creation functions, Pleiades represents the key to physical procreation. It represents the galactic beginnings of the physical atomic threshold, right? Therefore, on the 7 eons of light, the races were evolved during the first 6 eons of time were superseded by the 7th ray. The planning of the atomic household of the Pleiades and Orion intelligence on the planet as to witness of the evolving nations. So now it's even saying that in the higher heavens, even though they had regular human beings that were born of the earth down here, what did they do? They superseded all of them. I'll say it again. Therefore, on the 7 eons of light, the races were evolved during the first 6 eons of time are superseded by the 7th ray, which is the planning of the atomic household of Pleiades and Orion intelligence on the planet as a witness to the evolving nations. So these Elohims, these lords of light, were supposed to watch Earth, watch what it was doing, help it out, help it to get to the next level. Instead, they still went to mating with them, having them fight amongst each other, started wars.
They had to change, and so they had to shapeshift at some point.
Well, they had that power. It talks about it. So Orion emulates the gnosis, the knowledge, which creates the spiritual powers of Christ. However, not Christ as a person, Christ as an energy. Just an energy. This is where they got the word Christ from. Don't get it twisted. Everything I'm telling you now is the original, where they took Star Wars and all these war movies you think that are so great. This is where they got their basics from. Well, how is it going to be? This is how they got it. All right. However, the pre-physical garment of light, which is needed to embody this higher light consciousness, comes from Pleiades. So the gnosis, the knowledge, the knowing, the spiritual powers of Christ comes from Orion. From Pleiades, we get the embodiment. What type of form is going to look like this spiritual essence of gnosis? And it's 9 ether, hair that grows to the top, dark-skinned, woolly people. That's the people that came. All right, the first people that were on the earth. But I'm gonna keep going. Pleiades gives us the light garment of the negative mass, which shapes the physical spectrum of the many who are called. Between the two are the rational minds who divert their mental energies from the lower heavens and call upon themselves and call unto themselves, meaning I'm God. They present the physical spectrum, or the many, the 85ers, you know what I'm saying? Those ones out there they're trying to control. They prevent the 85ers from receiving the spiritual gnosis of the spiritual essence. The evolution of our local universe has been many fallen planets that have claimed for themselves an eternal essence with the Father. However, Enoch clearly tells us the key that the Adamic race as a family of God has come into a physical form in Orion and Pleiades, wherein Pleiades is both the cradle seed and the throne codes to support the pre-existent consciousness of light. The cradle, which is the consciousness seed, enters the physical womb of time and space, through which which are chosen by the throne. So all of us that are down here searching for this higher knowledge, that are becoming more and more woke and enlightened, we came through this process. It just took some time to wake up. It wasn't our time, but all of us came from this higher realm. All right. So those are chosen by the throne, allowing those who are in the physical seed the opportunity to graduate into other universes of higher thrones and dominion. Pleiades is considered the foundation of harmony and creation. However, many who are called must go through the Madrid, the many patterns of the many different levels of other kingdoms before they can enter the pure thought, pure energy into the kingdom of light, capital L light, conscious light. That is until they can reach a state of divine non-evolution. You're not even evolving no more. You're that high. You're that pure. You done been through all of it.
Almost seems like like a lot of people say monks. You know, where they just sit, meditate.
But monks don't participate. The best monk would be a monk that practices all his monksly skills, but actually helps his fellow man out day by day, doing whatever. You know what I'm saying? Secure yourself and isolate yourself. How can you elongate the Father's love to others if you're by yourself?
But you know what? They're not by themselves. It's a whole bunch of them.
No. I'm just saying, as far as they're all on a soul,
they're all doing
mission. When we're supposed to be helping, we're supposed to be one with the people. 5% is get out there with the people and do what they do.
I'm wondering now, like.
In fact, hold on, keep that thought.
Okay, yeah.
The chosen of this planet who succeed to serve their species qualify not only to put on the overself body of light, but are given the knowledge of how to use the codes of biochemical creations on this planet to mutate a species capable of carrying the light, capital L conscious, into other planets. For this reason, the people of Israel were created. So now it's even telling you why we come down here.
In the first place.
For us that have a goal or a plan to do. We know this is the best place for advancement. I can't say it again. Everyone be like, no, we fell. No. This is the best place to get what we need. And it's the only place for where this happens. So it only happens so often. Right. It only happens at the end of the 26,000 year precession of the equinox, and it happens again at the end of its 52,000 year. Twice in 52,000 years. And we're part of it. That's why getting down here was so important. All right? All right. So listen to this. So the intelligence in distant universes are called not only to judge the earth, but also to judge the gods who reign in these fallen stations in the sky. We too, who are in the threshold between the spiritual powers and humanity, will be called upon to judge the angels who are cast down into the dimensions of space during the cleansing of the sky, fulfilling the words in Corinthians where we say, do you know that you shall judge angels? You, me, you. Judge the way they use what they use, as we will be judged on how we used our love and light. Even if you only got a little bit of it, as long as you used it right. Does it make sense? Moreover, the key speaks of the thresholds of light, capital L, speaks of the wars and heavenly spheres between spiritual powers and high places for the control of the Zoar races, which contain the codes of the Adam and Cadmium. Why is that important? Physical representation of life on these physical planets come from the codes of Zoar, which contain the codes of the Adam Cadmium. The Adam Cadmium is the 5 bodies of light to 4 bodies of light that go on this one, the electromagnetic body, that allow us to go back into the infinite and the eternal as we are right now. You ain't got to die, none of that. All right? But there's a progression to it. Supposed to be level 1, level 2, level 3, going all the way up. We go from realms of decay, right? Realms of decay from 0 into number 1 is the first realm, earth realms of non-decay, meaning spiritual bodies that don't get old, don't decay. You see what I'm saying? So you wanted these lords of light that seen this, took control of the energies and said, I'm going to apply my own energy to the formula.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna apply my own energy to the egg, the womb,
Mm-hmm.
make it what I wanted to make it. All right. So then it
Choices.
just goes through how you have three different type of people. You have the people of clay, the ability to evolve within our realm of creation, largely governed by the fallen chemistry of this physical universe, meaning they're going by what looks good, feels good, tastes good, sounds good, right? Then you have the rational people who serve mathematics of the so-called polar areas of the Little and Big Dipper. These are the ones that try to use mathematics to trap us, all right? Keep us in a certain realm of physical attainment. Then you have a few people who are chosen to do the work of the Lords of Light who look to Pleiades as the divine dipper in conjunction with Orion and Michael and, and Metatron and Melchizedek and the 144,000 Lords of Light and minister unto the sun's universe in the name of Yuhei, the living light. There's where your 144,000 comes from. Has nothing to do with 144,000 coming off of Earth. 144,000 Lords of Light.
Mm-hmm.
And a few done came to the Earth before, establishing shit.
Mm-hmm.
Pleiades and Orion give the mathematics for every chemical sacrifice required from life of Genesis to Revelation. That's that Alpha and Omega.
Mm-hmm.
So that's that physical time. That's life and death.
Mm-hmm.
And what does it say? I'll say it again. Pleiades and Orion gives the mathematics for every chemical sacrifice required in life from Genesis to Revolution. And at the end of the program, those who carry the image of the Lamb will be separated from those who carry the image of the bear, the Big Dipper, the dragon, the Little Dipper, the fallen spiritual powers controlling the old astronomy of Babylonian sciences, forcing man to do homage in the lower heavens, forcing us down here, keeping us down here so we can't move on. Keep us worshiping them when we are them, if not older than them and stronger than them and better, like their parents.
How do you break that cycle?
That's the key. Meditation, contemplation,
Mm-hmm.
reading, being in a world and not of it. All these terms mean nothing until they're exercised.
Mm-hmm.
Meditation don't mean shit till you start doing it. Breath control don't mean anything till you start controlling your breath.
Mm-hmm.
Being spiritual and being woke means nothing till you start to become spiritually woke.
Mm-hmm.
They're just words most people think of as words until it happens, till they're in the action state of it. Then it becomes something.
So I got two quick things I want to
Go
say.
ahead.
I want to answer that question that I was saying we both knew the answer to. You know, when I was telling you about the young lady and everything.
Mm-hmm.
The answer to that is that you go within yourself and you ask your spirit, and everything will be revealed. That's the
Facts.
so that I did want to, because I did say that I would answer afterwards. The next thing I was going to ask you, it just when we was talking about the monks, how I don't know that much about them,
About the
but
what?
the monks,
Uh-huh.
I just know from what I hear, it should be something for me. And maybe if somebody's watching this, they can explain if you don't know. Um, how do they even become, or how do they even communicate to let them know that they want to be a part of it? And what Scott,
To
they
be
have
a
to go
part
ahead,
of the monkhood.
because you know they don't. As far as I know, they don't talk.
Normally, the monks will take the strays, the outcasts, the
But
ones
how
searching knowledge that actually come to him like, yo, I just come to search knowledge and learn your way.
do they
And
do?
they'll let them learn.
Is it somebody that talks to them though?
Like, yeah, the monks talk to each other, train each other, all
Okay.
that.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. That's
there's a whole
okay.
training program, sir. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
We just see the ones in quiet contemplation. Do they do a lot of talking when they're not training? No, because everything is self-reflection. Everything is on the inside. That's why they sit down for an hour and do nothing but meditate.
Because in the movies and everything, you always see them with their hands in their robes and they're just walking and they
But if
don't
you
say
look at
anything.
like damn, what was the name of that one? The old dude. They showed him go through the whole monk school. And the
Who?
last one was where he got what do they call it? Not he was an old dude. He was famous. I mean, if I say the name, you'll know immediately. He was a wanderer. Oh, what was his name?
Kung Fu.
Kung Fu. Yes.
Okay.
He went through the whole school, and at the end, he had to move the thing. And when he left with exactly what he came with: his shirt, pants, and into the mountains. It was cold as hell. He ain't even feel it because he was trained.
I just downloaded that on my Fire Stick so I can watch it later. Kung Fu. You know,
That was great. I seen it.
because I used to watch it as a kid, but I want to go back and watch. You know, now as an
Watch it
adult.
now that you can understand a little more.
But go ahead. Those were the two things I just wanted to make sure that I remembered.
Oh. Well, you know, I'm just gonna we're at 7, key 7s. We went over keys 1 through 6. That's enough.
Okay.
You know, for now. We'll start at 7. We'll quickly review 7, 8, 9, and we'll just move into 10. But the knowledge is so heavy and it takes so much remembrance. That's why, if you see, I keep going back to the beginning keys, because these keys lay the foundation for what we're going to learn later. Because this shit is heavy. I mean, deep down the rabbit hole. All right. And a lot of the stuff it's talking about is inside of you. But that's a whole nother story. So what's been going on with your Jazzy Fizzle?
Well, Wednesday coming, I'm being honored. Grant Tone, he started out hosting, from Boundaries. So he continued to go on, and he's doing like live events, and now he's hosting everywhere. In the city, Buffalo, he does like mayor balls, you name it, he's hosting everywhere. So he does this thing at his night on Wednesday nights where he goes through, and people that made an impact in the Rochester community, he goes ahead and honor them. So this Wednesday they doing me. So
that's what's up.
Yeah. So
congrats.
Yeah. So I was just like, wow, I was surprised, because like I don't even really, now I stepped away from that arena, the whole, and then it's so funny. It's just like when I was talking about my son, like he said he don't want to do the football or nothing no more. It's kind of like with me. It's just like the whole music entertainment field thing. I just don't have the love for it like that no more. And
well, once you learn the real shit behind the shit, that'll make anybody not have a love for it.
Yeah, when I started that whole thing, like when I started doing the stuff like with my sister doing Jodeci thing and all of that, I mean, it's just like, and then you know what was it's so funny? That's in 90. They got here like 93, 94, somewhere around there, and they left like they did that album here, the show, the after party, the hotel, and I think it might have been 97 or 8. They were still coming back and forth here, but it's just so amazing that I was conscious to things that I didn't know, even when I wasn't living in consciousness. Like I seen the whole thing when I went there, and I was just like, nah,
I'm good.
I'm good. Yeah,
I'm good. Thank you, but no, thank you.
And even my sister, like when I talked to her, she was like, I was like, look, I'm gonna tell you, I already peeped the game. This is what it is, and this and that or whatever. I said, if you wanna, you said you have to make the decision for yourself. I said, but I'm right here. And she said, as soon as the door closed, she's like, everything that you said tried to happen. And I was just like, she said, let me tell you everything from trying to give the dope, everything. I mean, it's just like I proceed, and I seen the whole thing, and I told her right before she went in, I said, this,
But see, what most people don't understand, that is faith. That's the evidence of things not seen by others, but it was shown to you by your spirit. This is what's going to happen to her. You might want to tell her what's going to happen to her. See what I'm saying? And when you know that happens, now they come back and be like, you know something, exactly what you said happened. That builds that substance because you want other people to have that knowing.
And then the thing what happened was the weird thing is because I knew so much and I foreseen everything, a lot of them stopped liking me. Timberland too. You know,
He said,
so
this nigga can see if you leave this nigga, 'cause he'll know whatever. What all we doing, he gonna know.
he knew because he knew that I knew.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He knew
All right,
that nigga knew
Jazzy.
that. Hey,
I'm about
but
to get up off, man. Oh, go ahead. As
no,
a
I want to
parting
say
gift for y'all, car talk.
what I want to
Go ahead,
say is
Jazzy.
that a couple things. I'm gonna get somebody. We'll do pop up a couple times this week. I'll
Mm-hmm.
let you know. I'm gonna get like we did last week. Um, Also, I want to see if oh, make sure if you're in the Rochester area, make sure you come out Wednesday night and support. I would love to see everybody, and I'm honored myself. Um, this video, just like with every other video, like, share, subscribe. We're not asking for a dime. We just sharing love and light. We got a master. We got a master teacher. Make sure I'm pointing the right way. This way. He don't. So I mean, and then I mean, I gained a lot of knowledge through over the years working with him, and I mean, and for somebody to take their time out, just please like, share, subscribe, tell somebody, tell a friend, go tell your mom and them.
Your mom and them.
Yeah. So
Tell them these they going way down the rabbit hole.
oh, Miss Visa, um, I seen her thing. I shared it where it's showing that you're gonna be on her show.
Yes.
And she got a
January 6th.
January,
I mean July 6th.
July 6th.
Saturday.
Um,
That Saturday after 4th of July.
I want to say she's one of our spiritual sisters. She is very
Yes.
impactful. She knows what she's doing. She knows what she's talking about, and she has a lineup of some very good people that's going to be on her
Yes.
podcast. And I'm just glad that my brother Mentor is one of them. So I'll be tuning in, and I ask that you tune in. I shared it on my homepage. So if you get a chance, you'll be able to see. I said, mental physics in its fullest, and it has the dates and everything. So like that, share it, and pass the word as well. And to all the ones, our brothers and sisters, I want to say love you. Um, Peace, mental. If anything else you got to say.
Just say peace. Oh, check out Miss Desi's
Oh, tonight, yeah, Miss Davis.
immersive
Hmm.
experience
Hmm.
tonight at 8.
Hmm.
She gave you a bunch of shout outs,
Hmm.
Overstanding Darkness. You know how we do.
Hmm.
Um, so
If
y'all
you
have
can
a
tune
blessed
in,
weekend. Tune in tonight. Immersive experience at 8. Desi,
Facebook and on YouTube, she's on both.
Facebook
So
and on
you
YouTube.
can't. It's not like you can't find her.
Right.
Like, subscribe to her because she has some very insightful stuff that she says on her page too.
Facts. And saying that, peace and love. All right, Jazzy.
All right, peace,
One.
bro. One.